What's up, my Big Mack Snack-Wraps? It's your boy, the Miggity Mac, and welcome to another show. On today's show, we are having ceviche salad. Yes, ceviche salad. Basically, I have romaine lettuce. I have ceviche. This is crab and shrimp ceviche. And I have pico de gallo topped with ranch dressing. And yeah, it is so good and so refreshing. But I'm going to add a little black pepper. A little black pepper to it. And some lemon juice. Just to spruce it up a little bit. I did this months ago when I did the the C Squad Big Salad Challenge. Yeah, so we're gonna say a prayer, y'all, and we're gonna get it in. Amen. Yeah, sometimes you gotta switch it up and do some healthier options, especially if I'm gonna be uploading every day. I gotta get my healthy options in. I can't be eating crazy day in and day out. I just can't do it. Other people might, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna get it in with this beautiful salad. Boom. All the flavors of the ceviche and the salad, it's just so refreshing. That's what it is. Look at that. Amazing. And also today, you guys, we're doing true crime. Now, the case we're going to discuss, I'm going to be reading it off my phone because it's such a detailed one. I couldn't memorize it all, even though I'm very familiar with the case. But I hope y'all don't mind that. And the case we're going to be discussing today is the Marcus Wesson case. Now, this case happened in 2004 in Fresno, California. But we're going to eat a little bit before we get into it. And the ceviche, I got it store-bought in the Pico de Gallo store-bought. I don't know how to make it on my own. But if you know how to make it, go ahead and just make the salad. If you like ceviche, you will not be disappointed. Let me see if y'all can see this. So good. So how my snack wraps doing out there? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I have the fan off, but it's beside me. So I might be taking pauses. Y'all won't know this because I'm gonna edit it, but I might be taking pauses in between this and getting some air. But I really wanted y'all to hear the story. So I had to forego the fan today. So y'all tell me what's some of y'all favorite healthy healthy meals that y'all like to cook. I like salads. I like baked fish and veggies. I like cauliflower rice, cauliflower mashed potatoes, or cauliflower mash, stir fries, get a little bit more. Now, of course, ranch isn't the healthiest dressing out there, but this is the one I had in my house. Usually I get like fat-free or something like that, fat-free ranch. I like Italian sometimes. And I love Caesar and blue cheese dressing. What's your favorite dressing? And what's your favorite salad toppings? So boom, I got my phone right there. Maybe I should set it over. Got my phone right there. So I can get into this true crime. Y'all know what time it is. Boom. Bay is back in the building. Bay is back in the building. Y'all say hey to Bay. All right, y'all. Pinkies up. And we're gonna swirl a little bit. And then we're gonna sip a lot of it. All right, y'all. So let's get into this true crime story of the Marcus Wesson case. This case happened in 2004 in Fresno, California. Okay, so Marcus Wesson, he was born in Kansas City. He's the eldest of four. His mom was like a religious fanatic, and his dad was an alcoholic, and his dad was abusive. So that's like the household he grew up in. And when he was older, I guess he escaped this situation by going to the army. Now, let me see. After he came back from the army, he met a girl named Rosemary Solorio, and she lived in San Jose, California. And but she was married. The lady was married already, but she left her husband for Marcus Wesson. And then in 71, she gave birth to a son with him. Now, it's about to get tricky. This is where it's about to get tricky. At the same time that he was married to, they wasn't even married. By the same time he was messing with Rosemary, he started kind of like seducing her daughter, who was young at the time. She was eight at the time. So he started seducing her and just saying that's gonna be his wife. The little girl is gonna be his wife. So in 1974, when she was 8, Marcus and Elizabeth, the 8-year-old, got married in a home wedding. And by the age of 12, he started sexually abusing her. Now, at age 15, they became legally married, and that's when she got pregnant. Eventually, they had 10 kids together. Now, one of Elizabeth's sisters, younger sisters, left her 7 kids with them, with Marcus and Elizabeth. And I don't know why she felt the need to leave her kids with them. I don't know if she felt they were safe there. I don't know. But I guess she couldn't care for them on her own. Now, it says he never had a job. The family lived off welfare. And once the kids were grown, the kids would work and had to give him all their earnings. In 89, he was convicted of welfare fraud and perjury. Now, the family often lived in a rundown shack, boats, and vacant houses. And that's where my mom encountered them, in the house that I guess was vacant, and they set up shop there. Now, my mom said she used to see them, you know, eating out of trash cans and stuff like that, and she would offer them, you know, food. And sometimes they would turn it down. Because I guess they knew they might get in trouble. I'm not sure. But, now, needless to say, he was abusive. The mom, Elizabeth, couldn't participate in any of the discipline and upbringing of the children. It was what he say goes, and that's the way it is. The children never went to school. They were homeschooled, and he taught the kids religion from the Bible that was handwritten by him. The Bible was handwritten by him. Do you know how powerful a Bible or anything like that is in religion? Like, that's the basis of every religion. They have their own version of the Bible, and their own ideology. So that's powerful, to be bringing kids up with not the Bible that we all follow as Christians, if you're a Christian, but a Bible that you've handwritten. So you know he took things and made them fit what he wanted to do. And that's exactly what he did. Now, his Bible focused on the fact that Jesus Christ was a vampire. He told the kids that he was God, Marcus was God, and that they, you know, had to refer to him as Master or Lord. So I guess there was no daddy. There was Master or Lord. Now, he taught the kids to be prepared for Armageddon and said that all the girls, all the daughters, had to be prepared to be his future wife, his own daughters. Now, this is a true crime story. There's already been several crimes committed in this story, but that's not the crime. That's not the clutch of the crime that happens in this case. Brothers were kept away from sisters because he didn't want them to be sexually attracted to each other. But it was okay for him to do what he wanted to do. Now, the boys had to stay like in a wooded area in a shack, and the girls stayed in the house or in a boat if that's where they were living. Because sometimes they live in boats, sometimes they live in shacks, sometimes they live in abandoned houses. Now they say he sexually abused 2 of his daughters and 3 of his nieces. Because remember, there's a total of 17 kids in the house at one time. His 10 and Elizabeth's 10 plus Elizabeth's sister 7. Now, court records indicate that Wesson fathered up to 18 children with 7 women, including his 5 daughters. Okay. So we're going to go up to speed to 2004. It says he declared his intentions to relocate his daughters and their children to Washington State, where his parents lived. On March 12, 2004, several members of his extended family, along with 2 nieces that lived in the house and knew what was going on in the house, the horrors of the house. Excuse me. They rebelled against him, and they, said, okay, we're going to come to this property and we're going to scoop up all the kids, all the children that are in the house. We can't let this go on any longer. And they wanted their children back. So Fresno police was summoned, and basically it was a child custody dispute, and there was a standoff. Now, this is where the story takes a turn for the worse. Okay, there's a standoff. I think it's a 2 or 3 hour, like an hour long, 2 hour long standoff. Now, once the standoff ended, Marcus steps out of the house with his hands up, and he has blood on his shirt. Now, the women are like screaming because they see the blood on his shirt, and they know what has happened. The police go inside, and inside the house is dark. And they go search through the house, and they come upon a bedroom. Now, inside the bedroom are several antique coffins, and beside the coffins lies 9 people stacked on top of each other. They had all been shot through the eye, and the youngest was on the bottom and the oldest was on the top. Now, these were 7 kids and 2 of Marcus's own daughters. But they're all his kids because he had children with his daughters. The oldest was 25, and the youngest at the bottom of the pile was 1. I remember police saying they've never seen anything like this. This was the most heinous and gruesome crime they had ever seen. And during the standoff, nobody heard any shots. I think a few witnesses said, but they heard some. But police said they didn't hear any shots fired. And there had to be a total of 9 shots fired when they didn't hear any. So I guess his whole life and all the kids' life, he had prepared them for a moment like that. And they knew exactly what to do if the police ever came to try to break up their family and how they live their life. But when the trial hit, when the trial happened, they blamed everything on the 25-year-old daughter, who was also killed, and she had killed her own child and then killed herself in the midst of all that murder-suicide pact that the family had. Like, they found gunpowder on her hands. So she did the killing, and she was the last one to die. She did the killing, but he was convicted of murder because he was the mastermind behind it. Kind of like Charles Manson. He was the mastermind behind it. So he has life in prison without the possibility of parole. No death penalty because it was in California. But that's one of the most bizarre and heinous crimes that I ever heard about. To brainwash your children, first off, sexually abusing your children all those years, and more than one child, and nieces, and then having your own Bible, coffins in the house, because I guess they believe Jesus was a vampire, and so and just the nature of the killings. Like, to go in a room, you see coffins, and you see a pile of bodies, 9 bodies. And as you're taking bodies off of the pile, they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And they're all shot through the eye. But they're getting smaller and smaller until you reach the bottom, and it's a 1-year-old baby. Like, that's insane. Like, I can't. If I was a cop, that'd be my last day. I can't. I wouldn't be able to get that image, that live image out of my head. Like, I can only think about it, but to actually see it, I think during the trial, some of his kids were still there and supported him, I believe, if I remember correctly. But some did, once they got grown, some did leave. Somehow. I know the boys were able to leave, and I believe a few of the girls. All those lives destroyed by one man and his mental illness, his sexual deviancy. Sorry to lay that heavy story on y'all. But it's a case I was familiar with because I was like maybe 15 or 16 at the time when that happened. And that was a big deal in our city at that time. And then my mom personally came in contact with him and the family. So I hope y'all enjoyed this true crime story. Maybe not enjoyed, but maybe you enjoyed a segment like this with me doing this. I enjoy telling you guys about this case. Not enjoying the details of the case, but you know, just doing the true crime thing, give us something to talk about. I hope you guys don't mind me looking and reading as I'm talking, because the details of this case are very intricate. Because he met one lady, they got with her daughter, and they had kids, and then he kept the sister's kids too. That he had kids with their kids that they had together, their nieces, and yeah. So if you guys want to read more on the case, you could look it up. This Marcus Wesson case. You'll be able to find a lot of information about the case. I hope you guys go out and try a ceviche salad. Ooh, excuse me. And I hope you guys come back for more true crime stories and more great food. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing. Shout out to my day ones. If you guys made it this far, leave a salad emoji at the end in the comments. Yeah. So I'm not gonna keep you guys any longer. Until we eat again, you guys, nothing but love, peace, and no grease. Just salad dressing and ceviche and lettuce. Something healthier. They wanted to say bye to you guys. We're gonna do one more piggies up. We're gonna swirl a little bit, and then we're gonna sip a lot of bit. All right, you guys. So until we eat again and do more true crime stories, peace.